I wanted to go to England. My mind was set on going to England, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And so, I came back, worked from I came back August, and I worked from August all the way to December. Just worked and training, gym,
Worked as in, like, not a job, though, like,
no,
trained, right?
Yeah, trained and then worked as, like, a normal job. Like,
What'd you do?
I worked at 2 different places, actually. I worked at a cell phone hospital.
Okay.
It was, like, a cell phone place. And then I was doing landscaping.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many hours a day were you working, like a job?
When I was working at cell phone hospital, I was, like, 4 or 5 days a week.
4 or 5 days a week?
Mm-hmm.
And then how many hours a day?
From 10 to, they opened at 10, they closed at 7.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still were able to get in your training
Yeah.
and your workouts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. When you were at that moment and, like, doing that and you're working a job and you were training on your own, or you're training with your old club team or something? Or?
Yeah, actually, I would go with my old club team, like an age down, and I would just train with them. The coach, thank God, of one of the club teams was ORU head coach, so he was a decent coach.
Okay, yeah.
So I could get decent training, but I would train on my own gym. I would actually play Sunday league or Saturday league, Friday league. We had that year, and I would just try to keep in shape.
Did you think that you made a mistake?
There were times where I was just like what am I doing? Like, I'm a complete idiot. Why did I leave? But I had to like, it was a decision I made. I can't go back on it. So I couldn't dwell on it.
Did you follow Central Arkansas's program and, like, your friends that you made there?
Yeah, I follow them to this day. I still
you saw them, like, in preseason. You saw them with the games. You saw them at school and, like, going to classes. And, like, did you feel like you missed out? Like, were you getting, like, FOMO?
Not really.
So that, I feel like if you're not getting that, then it wasn't like at that point, like, for me, that tells me that you made honestly a good decision. If you really weren't missing out on it that much.
Yeah, I mean,
feel like that.
The only thing I wish I would have stayed for was to get the college experience. In my opinion, that's the only thing I wish I would have stayed for.
Yeah.
To experience what it feels like to be a college student, but no.
The actual soccer program, you didn't feel like you missed out.
No, I mean they actually won their conference that year for the first time ever.
Wow.
Yeah, the year I left, and they won it the year after that too.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a good team. Yeah.
Okay, and then so now you're working. You said at a cell phone hospital. You're working doing landscape. You're doing like landscaping. You're training on your own. You're training with your club team. You're working out on your own. You're doing all this stuff. What was the next few months after that like?
Those few months were the hardest, to be honest. Just because I had nothing going. Like, I felt like I had nothing going for me.
Yeah.
I was working a normal job. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, I was doing that. I threw away a college.
But you're asked. So were you thinking that, like, I'm gonna go over to England in January for like that transfer window?
So I was, my plan was, I saw a couple. I forgot what it was called. It was some like combine down there that was I was wanting to do. So I was gonna work, save up money, and then I think the combine was in January, February, and I was gonna go over there, do that. So that was my plan until about December, when it's crazy. It was actually Mike, the head coach now at Roughnecks. He was a match analyst for the Roughnecks that year. It was, I want to say 2017, end of 2017. He was match analyst, so he wasn't even like an assistant or anything. I texted him because I knew he sent a player from his club team to England. I think it was Sheffield Wednesday for their academy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I hit him up. I asked him, how does that all work? If you could, send it to me, or send me, like, how would that work? And he told me basically, in order to do that, you have to do well in your own market. Because, I was already like 19.
Yeah.
So, he said to do well in your own market, which was, the Roughnecks. So he told me to go to the combine for the Roughnecks, which was in December.
Okay.
And so that worked out. I went there, and I'm actually the assistant coach for the Roughnecks that year, 2017. His name is Lloyd. I was good friends with his son. His son was in like my 4th hour, my senior year of high school. So I was really cool with his son, and so he got me in for free. Like, I didn't have to pay anything for the combine, and I did well at the combine. So, and then they invited me into preseason, and then
This was the 2018 season?
This was, so that...
You did the combine in 2017.
And then the 2018 season is when I...
So you went into preseason with the Roughnecks, and so at this point you were thinking that like you were all about going to England, but then talking to like Mike and some older people like coaches, you were like, oh, maybe I like that where you need to do well in your own market.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I think, especially like younger guys, think that like, okay, now it's just time to go straight overseas. You know, before you've gone pro or even semi-pro or something here. And I think it always could work, but I do like the idea of like you have to do well in your own market.
Yeah, in my opinion, 100%. If I would have went to England, I wouldn't have been prepared. I don't think I would have been prepared.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, I even found that going over to Germany. Like I don't want to say I did well in my own market, but I played D1 for years. I did with San Jose Earthquakes U23s, and then I was training with Sacramento Republic, and I went over to Germany. I still was like, wow, like. It's just you really like do have to make a name for yourself, and then it helps to go over after that.
Yeah, I had no college. I mean, college you could say I was there for like 3 weeks. I had 3 weeks of college training.
Yeah,
I had no experience besides high school and club. So I don't think I would have I think I would have failed in my opinion if I would have went to England. I don't think I would have been ready.
Okay, so preseason with the Roughnecks.
Preseason with the Roughnecks. So
you come in. You're 18 at this point, right?
19.
19 at this point. How'd it go?
Preseason.
Was Ivan Mirkovic there?
Yeah,
already in preseason. Okay,
Ivan was there. Preseason was a hell of a ride for me, to be honest. I learned a lot about myself. A lot about what it actually takes. Because I got there, preseason. I did well, actually. I mean, I did well. Practices started. I mean, I wasn't like nothing special, nothing crazy. So, I mean, I just practiced with them for like the first month. And it was cool, It was a cool experience. I remember there'd be practices where the coach would like get into my ass about how dribbling, all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, that was crazy to me because like, I've never been told, like, I love dribbling and like, I've never been told like they were screaming at me like it was crazy, but
because you're honestly the type of person who gets the ball and could go on those 50-yard
runs at people, like I've never played any other thing but high school and like to be playing at higher level dudes. Obviously I'm gonna get like either kicked or like fouled or get the ball taken away.
Yeah. How was that transition? So you went from basically where you were to now playing with training with a professional team. How was this change with the speed of play and the athleticism and like everything?
Yeah, that was a challenge as well. I mean, it took me a while to get adapt to the speed of play, but the coaches really, I thought, helped. Like Lloyd was really a help to me in my opinion. Even though he would get into my ass, stop dribbling. I remember his voice. Stop dribbling. Just one touch, tiki taka, and I feel like I adapted well. We played a few preseason games actually. I played against Chicago Fire. That was like one of the craziest.
Wow.
Yeah. So we went to Chicago for one of the preseason games. Played against him. I played against Schweinsteiger. Like that was so crazy to me, dude.
Like sick.
That was so sick.
Did you touch him like on the field?
Yeah, I was like on a corner kick. I remember he talked to me. He was like, "You think he's gonna go short or long?" I was like, "I don't know." And then I was like talking to him. And he just sprints off. I'm like, "Dude, are you serious?"
That's sick.
But yeah, it was cool, and I actually did well. Like I would say I did well in that game. I played like right wing. Yeah, and I think I did well. The feedback, because I always ask for feedback from coaches all the time. You know, he said that you did well. You did what you did, and I don't think I lost the ball. Then every time I got the ball, so I think I did well.
Yeah. Okay, and so preseason was going well. You're adapting to the new speed of play, the athleticism, like everything. Because like I did that too. Even in every level I went up, because I was like I like to dribble and do some stuff. Not as much as you, but I like to dribble. And then like I would get, even when I go to college or I go to play with the San Jose Earthquakes or Sac Republic was a big one. They're like, you need to play the ball faster. Like, I know to get cracked and do the same thing. And like, but I kind of went up baby steps with it,
Really?
But like it was the same thing because I would always kind of just dribble and dribble and dribble, and then all of a sudden I was going to get up against guys who were just as fast, faster.
Fast.
Or then like I no longer could go into a tackle, bully a guy off, and keep running. It was now going up against the guy who was 215 pounds.
Exactly.
And like
that was me for high school. Like I thought I walked in there, I'm gonna dribble everybody.
Yeah.
I remember like I think it was Paris actually. He put me on my ass, dude. Paris put me on my ass, dude.
Yeah, that's funny.
I tried to dribble him. I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat this guy.
Yeah.
Get the ball taken away, and I'm on my face, dirt in my face, and it was just bad.
And then so you did preseason. You played against Chicago Fire. Did you get any other preseason games?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I played against ORU here. Did well. I'm trying to remember. I think that's all I can remember. Those 2 games. Yeah.
And then so, what was the next step after that?
So I trained preseason, and he basically told me, I remember he told me, he was like, they're gonna sign me on like a training contract, kind of, and that never happened. And I was getting frustrated. I'm like, if you're not gonna sign me, or you're not gonna sign me to like a training contract, and I don't know, like I needed money, and I wasn't gonna just stay there forever. But I told him. I told Lloyd actually, and he was just telling me, just maybe get a side job, because I told him I was gonna need a few days off, just because he was telling me to come each and every day, and I was like, I need income, so I was gonna tell him if I can get a job maybe on the side, miss a few days, like set a schedule with him basically, maybe work Monday, Tuesday, and then train with him Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. And basically, by the grace of God, this was January, February, March, April, May, I want to say. So I was been training with him for like almost 2.5 months. And Barry Williams, the new owner right now, he was a mentor to me, back then, or like at that time. And he was telling me, because what the coach was telling me is that, we don't have money right now. That's what, a lot of coaches say. They're going to BS you basically. And Barry was like, was really pushing for me to get signed. And then, it finally came through, and I finally got signed, and that was, a blessing to me.
Okay, so I think the microphone cut out for a little bit of that. But you signed your first pro contract with Tulsa. It was probably a sick feeling.
It's like to see my name on the back of a jersey like that. It was crazy.
What was like the reaction with your family, your mom, your friends, everybody? Because you were like a homegrown like Tulsa Tulsan, right? That's what you say,
Tulsan. But my mom she told me, she was sad throughout those months that I was just, working, wasn't really doing anything. And, she was, she's always going to be proud of me, regardless of what I do. And so when I finally told her, I got signed, she was super duper happy. She was, I remember I called her and she was crying. She was like, this is a blessing.
Yeah.
And we just had a long conversation on the phone. She was crying. It was, how moms are.